But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean, earn your keep.
This here is an elite piece of steel, forged for one purpose. This is an elite squad of men and women, always willing, always ready, always watching to take on any cutting task deemed necessary. These are the true stories of the men and women of the Code 4 Enforcement Agency. Alright, this is Outpost 792 checking in with the Code 4 Enforcement Agency. How y'all doing? Alright, today we're just waiting on some calls to come in. This is my gear. This is all I need right here. I got my Code 4, got the walkie and the GPS. You know, I get a call comes in and I just put it in, and you know, I'm like an Uber driver, you know, with a purpose. It's not a glorious job, but somebody's got to do it. I once gave a tracheotomy to a wildebeest on a game preserve down in Nebraska. The knife performed great. I performed. He didn't do his part. He later passed on from complications, external factors. But hold on, we got one coming in. Roger that. 10-4 over and out. All right, we got Code 4, Section 362. We got a Barbie and blister package at a little girl's birthday party. She's gonna be so happy when I come in the door and save the day. All right, you folks ready? Here we go. All right, we're on location. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Code 4, code 4, Well, sometimes you can't win them all, and it really is a thankless job. You know, I'm looking at 2 felony accounts of assault and a misdemeanor, but that Barbie got out, and I think that little girl thanked me in the end. So, those have been the true stories of the Code 4 Enforcement Agency. See y'all next time. Well, howdy y'all. Today we are looking at the Code 4 by Cold Steel. This is a knife that was sent to me by JR. He runs the Sharp Spot Facebook group and YouTube channel and Instagram and the Hanks. JR is a busy guy, but he's a good guy, and he knew I was itching to check this out, and he sent it to me. After having it in hand, I said, you know what, I think I'm going to try to find one of these XHPs on the second market, and JR was like, you know what, keep that one. I don't use it. So just a big shout out and a big thank you to him. I'm going to link all his stuff down below. There's a lot of good people in the community, and JR is definitely one of the good ones. So big thanks to JR. With that aside, we're gonna take a look at this knife. We're gonna do a review. Let's throw in a spec check here in a second, and then we're gonna touch on the pros of the knife, the things it's doing well, the so-sos, little nitpicks, little minor talking points, nothing big. And then we're going to touch on the oh-nos. Those are the deal breakers, the potential uh-ohs of the knife. The things that make it stop and take a step back. All right, let's get our spec check in there and get started. Here we go. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's kick this thing off, shall we? We're going to drop in a snapshot real quick, just to give us an idea of how big the knife is going to be. Here it is along some others that you might be familiar with. It is a little bit of a bigger knife, and that's okay. I prefer smaller knives, but everyone needs a nice big knife in their collection, and this one fits the bill really well. Alright, let's dive into some pros, the things this knife is doing really well. First things first, in no particular order, the price of the knife. For this knife, the quality that you're getting, the materials that you're getting, this is going to roll in at about $75 to $85. And just to kind of save you from watching the whole video, I'm going to say right now, I think that is one of the best deals on a knife at that price point. 75 to 85, depending on where you're shopping and when. You're getting great materials, you're getting great quality, you're getting great fit and finish. I'm a big fan of that price point. I think this knife is a good knife. If you've been into knives or you're getting into it and you've been a budget-minded guy, you know, like sub $50, and you wanted to make that next move before you get into over $100 knives, right off the bat, I'm going to say this would be a great place to start, just on what you're getting, the whole package. So spoiler alert, that's kind of how I feel about the knife. But there's more to talk about, so yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I already stated overall fit and finish. You know, everything's as it should be. It's centered up really well. It came sharp. I'm assuming this is the factory edge. It doesn't look like it's been touched up. It's still sharp. I haven't had to touch it up. The action for a triad lock is phenomenal. You can see it has like a drop shuttiness to it. It's hard to do on camera. Maybe I'll throw a little clip in right here. Just flicking it open and closing it, it works great. It's got a nice snap to it. And it drops and it's just got a nice little click. Very, very fun to play with. There's almost a little bit of a fidget factor there, and for a big lockback knife with the triad lock, that's a nice little touch. I appreciate the way this knife operates. The looks of the knife, I like the way it looks. Cold Steel can be very campy in their designs of some of their knives. They're going to speak to a certain consumer base, and that doesn't always go across the board as something that translates to the average consumer. But I think this knife kind of does a really good job of that. It's a good looking knife. It's got like that, you know, matte gray titanium kind of color on the aluminum handles. The blades, you have three options of blades. You can get a drop point, the clip point, or the tanto. So that's really nice. If there's a way that, you know, there's even serrated versions as well. So there's kind of a style for everybody with the Code 4s, and I think that's a great touch as well. There's lots of different ones you can get. If one speaks to you more, you can seek it out, so to speak. We already touched on the materials briefly. This one is the XHP, which is a little more sought after from what I understand. They have switched over to S35VN, and that's fine by me. $75, $80, $85 for a big chunk of S35VN with a nice hollow grind and lots of different blade options. You got it. Sold, in my opinion. I mean, this knife is really kind of hitting on all the points. You know, thumb stud being reversible. It's a little bit shorter on the side that you're not using, so it's not getting caught up. It operates well. There's a lot of things to like about this knife. You know, and it's I think this one comes in at 4.3 ounces, and for a big knife, that's cool for all metal construction. If I was wrong on the weight, I'll pop it up right here. But let's take a look at how thin this is, shall we? Here, let me I got a pen right here. I actually saw Blade Banter do this on Instagram, I believe, and this really kind of keyed me off to this might be something I like. Let's get it to focus real quick. So there's just a standard pen, and you can see that the bulk of the knife, if it'll focus, the bulk of the knife fits pretty much behind the pen. It's really thin construction, and I really like that. I really like just the overall package. So let's talk about things that are just so-so on the knife. I guess we could start with the pocket clip. I'm okay with this pocket clip. I'm normally a deep carry guy. I've been getting a little bit more tolerable of other clips. But this one works. It is short and, you know, it's not deep carry. It does leave a little bit out. You know, let me show you here. It's going to leave that much exposed, and that's okay. But there is a lot of knife hiding in the pocket. I said it in my Mannix 2 video. You know, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You do have a lot going into the pocket. But we'll go on to that in just a second. But touching on the pocket clip, here it is going in and out of the pocket. And one thing I like is the little divot here. Makes a good little spot for your thumb to sit on when you pull it out and push it back in. So it rides in and out really easily, and having that little divot in the right spot actually helps you pull it in and out. And that's going to be this little spot right there. So I really like that. That's actually okay. So the pocket clip is so-so. You know, it's not the best pocket clip in the world, but it works really well. You are coming in at about 1 3/4 inches, just a hair under on just the overall width of this knife. So it is going to be a little bit of a pocket hog. Something to keep in mind, but it is a big knife, and I can live with that. But that is something that you guys might want to be aware of. One other thing to touch on is, you know, it is aluminum handle, so a little slicker than other knives, but not so bad. I guess going back to the pros, we'll backtrack a little bit. I try not to do that for you guys, but the ergonomics are pretty good. You can see it's got a nice little slope here. I wouldn't call that jimping, but it does let you know where your finger is on the knife, and it fits your hand really well. If your hand's bigger, it's going to fit even better, I think, on this knife. But my small hand fits great. So, but it is going to be a little slicker than your average knife because it is aluminum. Well, I think that pretty much covers the things that are just so-so on it. And the oh no's is none. I have no oh no's about this knife. I think, as I stated in the video, we'll kind of full circle right now. Get out of there. Scram. You too. Yeah. But I think this is one of the best options. As somebody who's a budget-minded guy, sub $100, this is one of those things. Once I start going over 50, I start being a little more picky on the knives I'm getting. And when I go over 100, I will pick a knife to pieces because I feel like things should be done really well. But this, at that price, is great. It's one of my favorite knives at that price point. I can't. It's outside my wheelhouse of what I would normally carry, and I can't deny a good knife when I see it. So I'm gonna speak its praises. Sorry I didn't go super in depth on everything, but it's got a hollow grind. It's got a nice swedge at the top. It's a great knife, guys. There you go. There's my review. Cold Steel Code 4. Do I like it? Love it or leave it? I love it, love it, love it. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up down in the comments down below. If I had anything that was wrong, or if you have just your own Code 4 and you love it, let me know what you think. All right, guys. Well, here we go. I think we're going to wrap this up. Hope you guys all have a good one. We'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye now.